Grow with Google, that's the program that the Chamber has going for it. I'm the president of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, president of the board of directors. And the Grow with Google partnership is one that we're very proud of. And for more information, you can go to grow.google/small business. Today's presentation, Reach Customers Online with Google, is going to be about the different products Google has and how to use them. We will also have a couple of more webinars coming up, and we'll get into that quickly. So my name is Vito Curcuru, founder, consult Vito, 586-215-4270 is my number. There's my email address and my website. We are a digital marketing agency, so we do social media, advertising, public relations, and a whole lot more, basically all your marketing needs. I am the president of the board of directors for the Chamber. This is a Chamber event brought to you by Consult Vito, brought to you by the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. We also often do webinars in our marketing series from Constant Contact. I'm a Constant Contact certified partner. That means I've taken a lot of training. We do have a lot of webinars based on email. And this content you're going to have today is all Google. So we're taking the Google presentation and we're giving it to you directly. All this has been researched and this has been put together by with Google. I'll be facilitating. A couple of webinars in May coming up. Make better business decisions with analytics. Another popular topic people ask me about, what kind of data they have and what they can do with it. We're going to specifically talk about Google Analytics, reports from Google Analytics, goals, and using them with other Google tools. Google Analytics is a free product. I recommend everyone put it on their website. We're going to do a deep dive into talking about how to use those numbers. May 19th, customer focused marketing. This is also a Google Grow with Google webinar. This will be create a compelling brand, define your audience, convert customers, build loyalty and advocacy. So this is going to be sort of an advanced marketing and combined with the basic marketing to get everyone's marketing programs off the ground. And again, information brought to you by Google. So it's going to be information for beginners and for those who are a little more advanced. So there'll be something for everyone on that webinar. May 12, May 19. To register, you can go to our chamber website, or you can simply go to consultvito.com under the event section. I do have my website and phone number here and my email address because I do offer through the chamber and for chamber and non-chamber members a discovery session where I will sit down with you. We'll talk about your marketing programs. If you have any marketing questions, I'll try and give you some tips in terms of free products and services or freemium, some low-cost ideas. That is provided at no charge. I do it in conjunction with the chamber. Happy to do it for everyone. Marketing is somewhat of a difficult place to be right now with how much is changing on a daily basis. So welcome anyone who wants to talk about marketing or grow or kind of understand what's going on, because it is a very busy field. So today we're going to break our workshop into 3 sections. We're going to start by explaining how Google search works, where the different types of information can appear in the search results, and then we're going to start talking about Google's algorithms, select the websites and other information that surface on the Google search results page, how you can implement strategies that can improve your website's chances of showing there when potential customers search. And in the second section, we're going to talk about Google My Business, which is another free Google tool that can help your business appear across Google search and maps. And third, we're going to talk about how to promote your products and services, creating a smart campaign using Google Ads. So these are all products that are free to use. Of course, you have to spend some money on advertising through Google, but and there's also a lot of training Google provides if you want to do a deeper dive, and there are some advanced products in Google Ads. But this is a good primer. Google has roughly 67, almost 70% of all search traffic, and the other products you'll find on Bing and Yahoo are going to be extremely close to the interface and how you set up their products and how their search works. So without further ado, let's talk about how Google helps business reach customers. I'm going to switch here and play a video that Google has provided. So we're going to go into this one, share it, and here we go.
all the time. How do I get into work?
Let's go back to the presentation, and we're back. So as you can see, Google can help businesses reach their current and future customers in a variety of ways. So start just thinking about that sheer volume of searches online. There's a lot of searches, literally billions on Google every single day. And each search is an opportunity for a business to connect to people who are looking for information. And the data shows that a lot of people are searching for information about local businesses, like the hours of operation, driving directions, and a whole host of other types of information. And you can see there's experiences that people have every day, all around the world. And thinking about some of those examples, and it's easy to relate to some of the questions they have or the problems they were facing. And it's true, we no longer go online, we basically live online. Every day we turn to whatever device is on hand to act on our needs. And think about all those potential customers. What are their I want to know, I want to go, I want to do, or I want to buy moments in relation to your business? Think about the questions people ask when they call your business or stop by your shop. Those are their I want to go, know, do, and buy moments. Rather than focusing on what you want people to know about your products and services, think about what they need, the questions that they ask you, and what they want to know. And by doing that, you can leverage those micro moments, using them as opportunities to build relationships with people who find your business online. We're talking about connecting with customers in moments that matter. Have you ever made a purchase, a very large purchase, a car, a television, or a smartphone in the last year? And how many people started by visiting a store and talking to a clerk? And how many people started by researching online? Most people, of course, start online these days. And it's for all types of purchases, not just the big ones. And if you do some online shopping research, you might have started by reading customer reviews. Maybe you did some price shopping or compared shipping costs or warranties. The takeaway is, consumers often have a lot of information about products and services before they contact a business or visit a store. Your website might be the new front door, the first interaction a potential customer has with your business. It's important to note that customers may start the shopping journey online, but there's still a lot happening offline. In fact, 85% of all transactions are still happening in local stores. Of course, that number may be a little different now, after the pandemic, but there's still a lot of transactions that are going to happen and will happen in local stores. Also, research shows that people are more concerned with their need in the moment than any particular brand. That means that even if your business is brand new or an unknown, you've got a shot at winning a searcher's business if your online presence helps them in a critical moment or a micro moment. So with all that in mind, we're going to look at the different ways Google can help searchers find you online. And also, I have my email address and my phone number there. For another important reason, if you want access to all of these slides, feel free to drop me a line and I'll send out a PDF of these slides to you. So how does search work? This is a huge question I get asked all the time in my marketing company. And the first thing to understand is that when you are doing a Google search, you are not actually searching the entire web. You're searching Google's index of the web. Think of the web as an ever-growing library filled with billions and billions of books, and a book represents a website. Pages of the book represent pages of your website. But there's no card catalog to help you find anything and no central database. On top of that, people aren't merely searching for websites. They want to find specific information inside the site, the individual pages and resources. So how in the world can people find anything? Well, enter search engines like Google. And Google's job is to read the book, categorize the pages, and help searchers find the information on these pages. Google finds information on the web by sorting through all those billions of sites and web pages and showing people where to find the answers they are looking for. To do that, Google uses software called a web crawler. You may know them as spiders, robots, or bots. And Google's crawler is known as Googlebot. Googlebot starts with a list of URLs. It then visits these websites looking for new links to add to the index, plus changes to websites and dead links. Googlebot follows links from page to page, sending website information back to Google servers to update the index to ultimately help searchers find the web pages. Googlebot processes each page it indexes, taking note of important information from keywords to website freshness and stores it in the index. The index is like the index in the back of a book with an entry for every word seen on every indexed web page. It's huge, it's ever growing, and Google's index contains hundreds of billions of web pages. Every time a person searches Google, the search is looking for information stored and organized in this gigantic index. So what happens when someone searches? Well, there's a lot of searches happening, more than 1 trillion each year worldwide. It's really hard to wrap your number around that head, so think of it this way. Within 1 second, that snap, Google processed 40,000 searches. So 40,000 searches happened in the last second. For each of the corresponding search result pages, how did Google decide which websites and resources to display? These decisions all happen automatically, the work of a computer algorithm. Google's algorithm considers more than 200 factors or signals. And the signals include basic criteria like the language and location of the searcher and what type of device is being used. Other signals include the age of the content on the web pages, its relevance to the search query, whether the page provides a good user experience, and a whole lot more. Now, after identifying the best set of results from information stored in the index, Google presents the results to the searcher, and all of that happens in a fraction of a second. And now I want to take a quick moment off script. You probably heard a few words in the last couple of slides that people, if you talk to marketing people or SEO, search engine optimization experts, they've thrown around. You probably heard the word Googlebot, and you want a website, and we heard that those keywords and website freshness. So that's when someone tells you, let's get some content on that blog. Those keywords about the business, about the product or service. What are the words that someone's going to look for? And then we started also talking about language, location, what type of device is being used. And we always hear you want to make sure your website looks good on the phone and tablet as it does on the computer, your laptop or your tower. And other signals include the age of the content. That's why we always talk about getting fresh content, writing blogs. Relevance to the search query goes back to that keyword, and whether the page provides a good user experience. So that's really all of the things that you've probably heard talking about Google search, the algorithms. But those algorithms, there's over 200 factors, and Google doesn't release how the algorithm works, and for obvious reasons. They don't want everyone to be able to beat the algorithm. They want to keep it fresh, and they want anyone to game the system. So those are all those words, like I said, you've probably heard of. And feel free to ask questions in the Q&A when we're done, or give me a call, because those are some of the things when you're talking to people about search engine optimization, trying to appear higher in the page. This is where we're going with all those types of words and phrases you've heard. So let's take a look at a person entering a search query. When someone searches Google in today's world, they typically type in a phrase or ask a question describing what they want to find on the web. That's the search query. Google's job is to show the most relevant information on the search results page So the searcher finds what they're looking for. In today's world, the consumer expects to find exactly what they're looking for without taking too much time. So here's a search results page. Look familiar? The tips today are especially relevant to the results you see in the center well of the page. These are the organic. These are the natural search results. The information presented about each site in the organic results is called a snippet. Each snippet includes a URL. Those are the blue lines, right? Everyone's seen this before. So we've got the snippet which includes the URL. The center is the organic search results, okay? We have page titles. Those are the ones there in green. And then we have descriptions. So usually a page description that gives searchers more information about the result. Then of course, you often see the business profile on the right side of the page. This information is managed by the business owner with that free tool, Google My Business. So there you go. Now we're getting into some of these products, again, free. Google Business, the Google My Business tool. If you don't have it, it's easy to get. Google creates a search results page, and the search results may display relevant ads served by Google Ads. This illustration points out where images of products can appear at the top of the page. Those are the shopping ads. You can see the text ads in the search results labeled with a sticker that says ad. Now, I'll point out one last section of that search results page, or as you may have heard, the SERP, search engine results page. At the bottom, you'll see a list of searches related to the query. And that's a cool feature that helps you see what other people are searching for too. It can help you refine your search and get some insight into how people search Google. So that may be something for you to reference when you're thinking about keywords for your business, your blog, and your content. So organic search results. You open the web browser, you go to google.com, you search for words and phrases that should surface, and look to see if you show up. If you show up, what does it say and how does it look, and where do the clicks and the results take you? If you don't show up, who is showing up, and do you recognize those businesses? So let's go now into resources to help you appear across Google. So now that we know how we appear across Google search results pages, let's talk about tips and tools you can use to help address any potential issues. This next section is going to go deeper into ways you can help your site appear in various sections using SEO, search engine optimization, tips and tools from Google. So SEO, search engine optimization, probably another phrase you've heard of. First, let's go ahead and start thinking about that, creating that free business profile. Well, first, let's get into some of these tips. Relevant original content. Logical organization. Good page titles and descriptions. Optimized images, fast load time, optimized for mobile. So we want to regularly publish specific, relatively non-technical tips that can help. Publish relevant original content, useful, information-rich, clear, and accurate. Use those keywords that you use to type to find your pages. Make sure that your site actually includes those words. Always lead with your most important information. If your goal is to get people to call your business, keep your phone number prominent. Bulleted lists can help make text more readable. And while there's no rule of thumb, the more frequently you update your website, the more likely it will be to appear in the search engine results. As you publish your content, keep it well organized. When your website content is organized into logical, clearly labeled areas, it'll help human visitors more easily find what they're looking for, but it also helps Google's algorithm better understand the content on your website. Every web page includes a title and description, which is part of a code, the code at the top or the bottom. Many content management systems offer the option to enter this text. If you have the option, make sure all these titles elements are descriptive, specific, and accurate. So your content management systems, now we're starting to talk a little bit about the WordPress sites, the Wix sites, the Google, the GoDaddy sites. There's the Squarespace. Generally, they have you have the ability in there to influence what the titles are. Images can have an important influence on the appearance and success of your website. So here's some basic tips for selecting images. Images should be clear and in focus. They should look right in the overall website design. It's almost always better to use real photos than stock photos. And before you add an image to your site, make sure you're allowed to do so. Make sure you add image descriptions, known as alt text or alt tags. This helps Google understand what the image is. Think of this like writing on the back of a printed photo so you can identify the people in it later. It's also going to make it easier for people who are visually impaired and who use screen readers to read the text. Make sure the size is optimized for the web. Now this can get a little tricky because digital images have two types of sizes. One is called the file size. A larger file size can mean a high quality image, but there's a trade-off. It's going to take longer for a web page to load with a bigger file. So file size is measured in bytes. So 1 kilobyte is 1,000 bytes. And that's pretty small. Depending on the speed of a visitor's internet connection, it's usually not a problem to load an image that's 100 kilobytes. 1 megabyte is 1,000 kilobytes. And at that size, it can start to slow down your web page. If you have a digital camera, even from a phone, your image size might be many megabytes. And in this case, you should use software to shrink it down before you put it into your website. The second image size is dimensions. So for the web, dimensions are measured in pixels. Without getting too technical, you can make an image smaller, but if you make the dimensions bigger, of course, the image will appear blurry or pixelated on the web page because you're dragging it out and further out. So image size is important because now we're going to talk about load time. The probability of bounce, people leaving your site, increases 32% as page load time goes from 1 second to 3 seconds. And it's even tougher on mobile. 53% of visits are abandoned if a mobile site takes more than 3 seconds to load. So we're talking about seconds here, and we're talking about speed, and that's one of those parts of the algorithm that we were talking about as well. I want to go back and touch base briefly on that business profile. Again, free tool, Google offers it, and it doesn't replace your website, but it can help your profile stand out in the search results and on the map and send potential customers to your site. So your business profile is automatically optimized for different devices because Google's building this for you. You create that business profile, it's going to help you control the details like business hours, contact info, store locations, photos and videos, and more. And it's going to update and be consistent across search and maps. One of the common questions I get is, can I control the reviews? Google doesn't allow you to control the reviews, but always, always, always recommend when someone gives you a bad review or if someone's on Yelp or Google or your social media, address it up front, be open and be honest, and you might be surprised to learn or that people appreciate you being open about whatever happened, whatever the situation was. And if you don't feel as though you can do that in a public forum on your social media page, or if you have the opportunity to reach out to that person individually, recommend you try and address the issue with them and ask them what happened and give it your best, the best course of action you can and for your customer service. So now let's talk about more tools to maintain a strong online presence. So here's some free tools. Free is always great. Remember, content is important, but make sure your site loads quickly. Load time, the speed that your pages appear is very important, especially on mobile devices. Optimizing for load time matters because for every second delay in mobile page load, conversions fall by up to 20%. At the bottom here, we see g.co/test my site. That's where you can go ahead and find out how fast your site is. If you're using a GoDaddy or a Wix, oftentimes your speeds are probably going to be very, very strong and very, very good because that's part of what you're paying for on some of these content management systems, some of these platform builds. You're paying for quite a few services, and one of them is generally speed of site. So go ahead and check your site speed at Test My Site tool, and the test scores measure mobile speed or how long it takes to load on a phone as well. So keep in mind, it's just not the strength of the web connection that determines mobile speed, but the elements on the web pages. And after evaluating your site, this test is going to generate a report with a list of specific suggestions that can help you optimize. Another tool that can help your website appear in the organic results is a tool called the Google Search Console. Again, a free tool. You can connect it to your Google Analytics, which is also a free tool. And the Search Console is going to help you monitor and maintain your website's presence in Google's organic search on all devices. So here's a couple of things you can do with Search Console. You can make sure that Google can access your site. You can submit new content and remove content you don't want shown in the search results. And you can monitor your site for problems. Search Console shows how Google and the world see your website. For example, you can see reports that tell you which queries cause your site to appear in search results, which websites link to your site, if your site works well on mobile devices, and a lot more. Again, free product provided by Google. And of course, when we've all heard about Google Analytics. To begin to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your website, and we're going to cover Google Analytics on an upcoming webinar in depth, you need to understand what visitors did or didn't do when they got there. And this is the website analytics data. Google offers that free tool, and it's a huge suite of customizable reports that answers questions about the effectiveness of your site, such as, what are people reading and viewing? How much time do people spend? It's going to tell you the demographics of your site, male, female. It's going to tell you the ages. It's going to tell you what their affinities are, what kind of hobbies they have. If it's an e-commerce site, where are people abandoning their shopping carts? And if you advertise with Google, that data integrates into analytics reports so you can measure the effectiveness of your ad campaigns. So now you've got all these products working together. To sum up, Google Analytics reports can help you make smart decisions about your site design, content, and functionality. It can be somewhat overwhelming, but once you start digging in, you'll find it all very useful. So now let's identify popular search terms with Google Trends. There's no doubt this would help you increase your visibility on Google. To wrap up, here's one more tool. It's free, it's web-based, and it shows the relative popularity of different search terms on Google. The data is presented in a graph on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 representing the peak search volume. If it has enough data, Trends can show a forecast of search volume, related popular searches, and rising searches experiencing significant growth. You can use this to find and compare the popularity of different words and phrases, determine seasonality of different searches, and see where searches happen geographically, and see related searches. So all of this information can help you see what topics people are interested in and create relevant content to publish on your site. g.co/trends. Again, if you don't have a pencil or pen handy, or you're not typing any of this in, just send an email to me for the slides. I'll send them to you in a PDF, no obligation, no worries at all. So now, start to look at open a web browser, sort of a exact way to try Google Trends. Enter the keywords or phrases, narrow down the results, adjust the date ranges, explore related searches for more ideas. Very simple to use Google Trends. Another Google product that we're not going to cover in here, but I do recommend if you're looking for a monthly search volume by keyword, is the Keyword Planner in Google AdWords. Sign up for an AdWords account, set it up. You don't have to advertise. Just go ahead and go through the setup process, go in the Keyword Planner and start looking at different keywords that Google believes are on your website. They'll do an analysis of your website and look up industry keywords for yourself. You can do it month by month and start to see where things spike. So that Keyword Planner could tell you something to the effect, if your business is business X, you have 10 products, you start looking at keywords related to those products, you may see a seasonality in terms of search for those products by month. So let's talk about reaching customers with online advertising. Now I'm gonna, once again, share a video. That's for your patience. Here we go. Oh, that's not the right, that's the, okay, over here, and we're gonna hit play.
I deployed to Afghanistan in 2007. Being there was the hardest part of my life. My stress level was through the roof. Yoga made me realize that I could be able to handle those stressful moments, that anxiety, and I wanted to share that with the military community. So when I decided to open a yoga studio, it was really important to get as many people as possible through our door, not only to help them, but also because we had to pay our bills. My goal was to get people to call us because we knew if we could talk to them, it would be easier for them to show up and come through our front door. It's actually pretty magical because since we've launched our Google Ads, our phones started ringing off the hook. I know my ads are working when more people than normal are walking through the door, when the number of intro offers that we're selling have doubled. And in result, we had to add 10 new classes a week. We had to hire more staff. What I love about Google Ads is that when I'm super busy at work, I can just check my phone and I can instantly track my results. As a small business owner, it's bigger than just you. It's about the families you impact, your employees, your own community.
I have somewhere I can let my guard down, and everybody else is here for a common reason.
Everybody that I've met here, and they were looking for something in their life to help them, either physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Our work makes such an impact on so many lives. We're so lucky that we get to do this. I like to say that I started a community center for adults, and we just happen to do yoga here.
All right, I'll bring back the presentation. Okay. So Google AdWords, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the Google products. And bring it back up. So before diving into how to set up a smart campaign, we're going to review where the ads can appear. And smart campaigns are going to be a little different than setting up a campaign that's a little more complicated, but smart campaigns are great for the beginner. So let's review where they can appear. The smart campaigns can appear on both the Google Search and the Display Network. The Google Search Network is a group of search-related websites and apps. Your ad can appear when people search for products or services you promote. The network includes Google.com, Google Maps, Google Play, plus search-related sites that partner with Google to publish ads. The Google Display Network is a large group of websites and apps that show Google ads. These ads can reach people earlier in the buying cycle, appearing alongside content related to your business. Ads can appear when consumers are looking at content, browsing websites, watching YouTube videos, checking email and Gmail accounts, or using mobile apps. Ads on the Google Display Network can also show images. Your ads may include images from your Google My Business listing. So with smart campaigns, your ads can appear on both the search and display networks. Depending on the goals you set, the Google Ads system will automatically determine where to show your ads to give you the best chance for success. So there's a lot of different ways these ads will appear. You can see that they can appear when we went through the search or the display ad network. So display ad network is full of a lot of sites. And if your site has a certain volume of traffic, your site could qualify to be in the Google Display Network, and you can make money off your site through advertising. It isn't a lot of money, but this is how a lot of ads get distributed. And you can choose and select the kind of ads that you want, the kind of content you want your ads to appear next to. So let's start with a smart campaign. If you're not familiar, it's a campaign designed for small businesses. It's flexible, you choose your goal and customize your content. Your ads can bring visitors to your website and connect to offline customers by driving phone calls and store visits. There's no contract, minimum commitment, startup fee, or cancellation fee. You control when and where ads can show and your budget. And it's a very straightforward setup process. Smart campaigns can get your business advertising online in minutes. Once your ad is set up, smart technology will help you find ways to improve your ads and help you get better results. Here's how you're going to do it. Start by signing into your Google Ads account, or you can create an account by visiting ads.google.com and clicking Start Now. Once you set up and sign into your Google Ads account, you'll be prompted to the first step of creating an ad using smart campaigns. You're going to be asked to enter your business name and your business web address. Next, select a goal. Select number 1, call your business if you get customers primarily over the phone. You want to talk to customers before setting up appointments or bookings. You want to track calls using a forwarding number. And this goal might be a good choice for appointment-focused businesses like beauty salons, home repair, and pet sitting services. Number 2, visit your physical location. Choose this goal. If you have a physical location, customers can visit without contacting you first. Your first interaction with customers is usually at the store. And this goal might be a good choice if you're promoting a retail store, a showroom, a coffee shop. And this goal helps connect online marketing with offline action. And take number 3 is action on your website. So choose this goal if most of your business is conducted online. You want customers to complete a trackable action on your website. And this goal is a good choice if customers can buy your products online or complete an important action like signing up for an appointment, a class, registering for an email newsletter, etc. Now, Honest Soul Yoga, who we saw in the video, wanted to drive more foot traffic to the boutique, so they selected goal number 2, visit your physical location. It's important to note that you can only select one goal per ad. However, if you have more than one goal, you can create multiple ads for each goal. Next, choose where the ads can appear. So Honest Soul Yoga can proceed to the next step, setting up their smart campaign. The owner needs to specify where she wants her ads to appear geographically. When you create an ad, you're going to see a couple of options for choosing where your ad can appear. So first, select that radius around your business. Then, you can identify cities, regions, or countries as shown in the example slide. As you adjust your geographic range, look at the top corner to see the estimated audience size, which it tells you how many people search Google within your selected area. Which option should you choose? Well, it depends on your business. If you're advertising for a business with local clientele, you might choose that radius. If you're advertising for a business that sells products and services beyond a local area, you might decide to expand the audience much farther. Choose the audience that makes the most sense for your business goals. If Honest Soul Yoga's goal is to drive a shopping rush to the boutique, they might want to target ads in a radius. They can experiment with the distance, starting with what they know about existing customers. So, for example, they might look at their customer database and determine that most clients live within a 35-mile radius of the studio. That information can help them set an effective ad radius. The owner can always go in and change it. And in fact, she can probably want to expand it as new locations open, of course. Next, we're going to describe that product or service. Choose a business category in the products and services you want to advertise. This helps the system understand the customers you're going to reach. For those of you familiar with online advertising, there's one notable difference with the smart campaign. You will not create a list of keywords. Instead, the system will generate search phrases that help determine when your ad should appear. If it was Honest Soul Yoga, they probably, if they want to promote the yoga mat package and try and get people in to try a class, so they're going to look for the most appropriate options. The system may offer some suggestions and only select the items that make sense, though, for your promotion. Now we're going to talk about writing an ad. Honest Soul Yoga Smart Campaign is coming along. The owner chose a goal, a geographic area, and described what she's advertising. So here's what we're going to do in an ad. Headlines, description lines, the display URL. It's important to focus on the content that's most relevant, compelling information. So again, we're going to focus on showcasing the most relevant, compelling information in your ad. Setting your budget. With smart campaigns, you have the ability to set and fine-tune a budget for each ad. You're going to set a monthly budget that makes sense for your business, and the cost will vary per click, but you won't pay more than your monthly budget. You only pay for the actual clicks and calls your ad receives within the budget that you set. For example, if your monthly budget is $300, but you only receive 200 in clicks, you'll be charged $200. Google's going to give you recommended options, but you can enter your own budget too. Now, if you choose to enter your own budget, you're going to see an overlay. You drag that slider to the monthly budget you want, and below the budget slider, you'll see a typical competitor budget range. As you adjust your budget, you'll see the estimated ad performance on the right side of the page. It estimates how many ad views and clicks your ad might receive per month based on the selected budget. You can review your ad spend and make budget adjustments in your account at any time. After setting up your budget and your ad spend, the final steps, you're getting ready to set up and start that smart campaign. So let's go ahead and look at some best practices. There's a few optional features you can add to your smart campaign. One is to add images and logos. Adding images to your ad can grab the attention of potential customers. You're allowed to add up to 3 images and logos. Once you've uploaded your image, you can review how your ad will look in different formats. It's a cool feature of smart campaigns. After you upload your images, Google's smart technology will create a series of responsive ads for your campaign to test, helping you get better results. Now, of course, there's some more advertising options, and there's video campaigns, and this campaign types lets you show how video ads on their own or within our other streaming video content on YouTube and across the Google Display Network. Showing video ads may seem pretty sophisticated, but the setup's straightforward. You can use videos from your own YouTube account, and like other campaign types, you can see ad performance and tweak targeting. Video ads help accomplish goals related to sales, generating leads, increasing website traffic, building awareness, and increasing brand consideration. There's 5 available video ad formats. There's in-stream ads, and those run before, during, or after other videos on YouTube, the display network, games, or apps. They also may run on YouTube videos embedded on other websites. After 5 seconds, the viewer can skip an ad. There's video discovery ads. They appear on YouTube only. They are seen in places where people discover content. There's outstream ads on partner sites. They're available on mobile devices and tablets. There's non-skippable in-stream ads, and they're 15 seconds or less. As the label suggests, viewers can't skip the ad. And 5th, there's bumper ads, which are designed to increase brand awareness. Bumper ads are just 6 seconds or less, and viewers can't skip them. So let's do a recap about everything we've spoken about. Build or improve that website. Your business needs a search-friendly, mobile-friendly site. Create or claim your business profile at google.com/business and try Google Ads. Remember, it's the budget you set. Set the amount of money you're willing to spend. Don't go over. You can go less, but set the amount that's right, because Google will spend that money appropriately in terms of how much you're asking. Often they will deliver on how much you're asking to spend. Here's some resources. Again, I'll send you the presentation, no problem at all, if you don't want to have to write all this down or take a screenshot of it. And another one is Google has a tremendous amount of videos, information on how to use their products. So there's courses in AdWords if you want to do the next level of AdWords, which would be selecting keyword buckets, designing the ads. It's a little more complicated, but there's all sorts of courses Google has, and they're free. And you get certified if you'd like, but you don't need to be certified to take the classes. Anybody can take the classes. So once again, I'm Vito Curcuru, and we're talking today about a lot of Google products, and it's a lot of information, and I know it's a lot to take in. If you want to start asking questions, love to have them. If you want to talk about the Google products, or if you're interested in learning more about other types of marketing programs, feel free to ask. I apologize, it looks like my name was cut off up there, but it is Vito Curcuru. There's my email, there's my phone number, there's my website. Upcoming May 12th, 2 p.m., we're going to talk about Google Analytics, kind of a deep dive, going through what you need to know on the basics, reports, creating goals, and using analytics and some of those tools. This will start to go in depth, give you screenshots of Google Analytics. And May 19th, Google's perspective on customer-focused marketing. It's a very strong presentation for beginning marketers and advanced marketers. There'll be a lot of information that you can use. I'm, again, the founder Consult Vito and president of the board of directors of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. This is an event brought to you by Consult Vito and the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. This is our marketing web series. We do 2 webinars a month. We have a lot of other great events you can find at our website. And let me see here. It looks like we have a question about setting up the Google My Business page. It's very simple. You start with so everyone needs to know, and they don't really mention this, but you need a Gmail account to access all of these products. Gmail accounts are free. You can just create a Gmail account. Then you can go to Google, the business profile page, and you can start setting up the business profile. You will have to verify that you're the business owner, so they'll send you a postcard. And once that postcard gets verified, then they'll go live with your page. So not everyone, you can't just claim anybody's business page. You do have to have, there are some safeguards in there. I know sometimes people get nervous about someone stealing their page, but very unlikely with the process they have to build that page. I do recommend you grab it. You need to have a physical location to do so. They don't, I believe, they don't allow PO boxes right now, but take a look at that, and it does enhance your credibility and allows you to appear on the right there when people are searching for your business. Let's see, looks like we have we're going to question. It's 2:47. We have about 13 or so minutes. I'll go through everyone's questions, and again, you can reach out to me directly. We have a question about some of the keywords and search engine optimization, content, and blogs. So this is when, you may have talked to people who specialize in search engine optimization and backlinks, and really you want to have that fresh content. So people ask, well, how often should I publish to a blog, and how long should the blog post be? There's one school of thought, 800 to 1,200 words for a blog post. I don't really subscribe to that school of thought in terms of every blog post. If you can have some nice long articles, that's great. But there are a lot of micro blogs happening, and keeping that content fresh is what's going to allow the web crawlers and the bots and the spiders to index that site. And that's really going to be important because Google's looking for a user experience that's positive, and positive user experience usually means new information that's being published. So start to think about what you look for in a website, and that's really what Google's perspective is in terms of getting you high on the search page. And beating the algorithms, what a lot of people try and do, is just sort of basically following some of your positive user experiences that you've had when you've interacted with the website. And that goes for Google's ads as well. Google's really looking for accuracy of an ad, making sure that that ad goes to where it says it's going to go, and making sure that the image and the site that it's going to go to is truly what it's supposed to. So in other words, if the Google AdWord ad you build says Nike Air Max shoe, make sure there's that link for that ad goes to Nike Air Max shoe. And because if you send it to a page that has 25 different shoes, some Adidas, some Reebok, some Nike, that's going to lower your score on some of these ads. And when you get a lower score, it costs you more money to do business on Google Ads. So you want to always make sure that you are adhering to best practices and what Google's telling you to do with the ads, making sure it's a positive user experience. Positive user experience is the #1 thing to think about when you are using Google products from the other side, from a marketing standpoint. They've built everything based on making sure that whatever they show delivers on the expectations. So let me see. Looks like we don't have any more questions. So I'll end this a little bit early today, unless there's any more questions or comments. But again, more than comfortable and happy. I offer, like I said, it's about an hour, sometimes 2 hours. We'll go over your website. We'll go over your marketing. You can send me in advance what you want me to look at. Kind of go through everything with you. There's no cost. There's no obligation. do it on behalf of the chamber. Happy to do it for people. And there's a lot of information like this in this presentation that you may not know that's free. My theory is to offer as much free information as possible because